This is 7 National News, and in our top story, an early payment of wages before Eid has been ordered in Abu Dhabi in line with directives issued by the UAE President, His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and instructions from His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. Staff working for the Abu Dhabi Government, the Armed Forces, and Abu Dhabi Police are to receive their salaries on July 14th in anticipation of the Eid celebrations. Retired military personnel will also receive their pensions on this day, according to a report released by the Emirates news agency WAM. Hamad Al Suwaidi, the chairman of Abu Dhabi's Department of Finance, said the move would enable employees to meet their needs and fulfill the demands of their families for Eid al-Fitr. This follows on from similar initiatives in other Emirates, including Dubai and Ras Al Khaimah. The UAE Vice President, Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, has affirmed that the UAE will spare no effort to create a supportive environment for women to fulfill their roles as key partners in building the future of the nation. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed's comments came during the first meeting of the UAE Gender Balance Council, where His Highness added that Emirati women have proved their competence in all fields and that the country is committed in supporting women to achieve the highest degrees of excellence and accomplish further achievements. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid wished all the success for members of the UAE Gender Balance Council in pursuing their objectives, describing the formation of the Gender Balance Council as a new step towards empowering UAE women. Affirming its role in enhancing the work environment by giving women equal opportunities in the public sector, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid approved the Council's launching of the Gender Balance Index for government sector. The Council's first meeting was chaired by the President of the UAE Gender Balance Council and President of the Dubai Women Establishment, Her Highness Sheikh Manal bint Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, wife of His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Presidential Affairs. During the meeting, Sheikh Manal stressed the importance of developing federal and local strategies to deal with gender and social balance, examining existing legislation and studying the possibility of enhancing them to achieve the desired balance. The UAE is the world's top foreign aid contributor due to the example and legacy of the country's founding president, Sheikh Zayed, according to Sheikh Lubna Al Qasimi, the Minister of Development and International Cooperation. Sheikh Lubna made the comments to an audience at the Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Majlis at its 5th lecture in the series, The Evolution of the UAE Foreign Aid Sector and Its Future. According to Sheikh Lubna, Sheikh Zayed made foreign aid a fundamental pillar of the country's foreign policy, planted a tree of giving that the world is reaping benefits of. Foreign aid, the minister stated, was on the board even before the UAE was formed, after Sheikh Zayed launched the Abu Dhabi Development Fund. The creation of the fund months before the Emirates formed the union sent a powerful message to the world, underlining the importance of supporting developing nations. Since its inception, the ADFD has funded infrastructure projects in several developing countries around the world. In 2013 and last year, the UAE was named the world's largest donor of development assistance in proportion to its gross national income, GNI. It was a leap up the rankings from 19th in 2012. UAE foreign aid reached 42.69 billion dirhams between 2009 and 2013, with donations accounting for 32.65 billion dirhams and loans making up the remainder. Egypt was the biggest beneficiary of the UAE's foreign aid, receiving 17.22 billion dirhams. Jordan came second with 2.8 billion dirhams, followed by Palestine, which has received 1.11 billion dirhams. And the Humanitarian and Development Aid Office at the UAE Embassy in Beirut has supervised the distribution of food parcels to more than 1,000 Lebanese and Syrian families in Mount Lebanon. According to a report released by Emirates news agency WAM, so far over 100,000 food parcels have been distributed, and more than 22,000 iftar meals provided during the holy month of Ramadan. The initiative has been coordinated in cooperation with Lebanon's Ministry of Social Affairs and other UN-affiliated organizations, with the humanitarian assistance being provided by the Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nayhan Foundation. Abdullah Al Ghurair, whose business group has interests including banking, food, construction, and real estate, has unveiled today the Abdullah Al Ghurair Education Foundation, a philanthropic institution dedicated to the advancement of young men and women in the UAE and the Arab world. The legally registered entity owns a third of the assets of Abdullah Al Ghurair group of companies, including all revenue and profit. The foundation's board of trustees is chaired by His Excellency Abdulaziz Al Ghurair, Abdullah Al Ghurair's son. The foundation will award grants based on highly competitive processes and will work in partnership with the best education institutes in the world. The foundation will invest in innovative, high-impact programs that improve the quality of education at the primary and secondary levels, while also helping the minimum of 15,000 promising Arab youth from underprivileged backgrounds pursue quality higher education for a value of 4.2 billion dirhams over 10 years. As one of the largest privately funded philanthropic initiatives devoted to education in the Arab world, the foundation hopes to inspire a stronger culture of private philanthropy in the field of education. It will also work with the regional and international education community to raise awareness of the need to increase philanthropic investment in education.
My father always was fond of education and history. Since the 60s, he always supported different schools, different programs in the UAE, and he's known for all that initiative. So he thought he need to put this as institutionalize his approach. Then we have also, yesterday we have celebrated UAE Humanitarian Day. So that's a continuation to also what our leaders have said. UAE should be also pioneer in this direction. So now the private sector is following and ensuring this is an institution set up, and hopefully will continue as long as our business is doing well. This funding for the school, funding for this education foundation should be no problem.
A 6-month grace period from employees' card fines has saved sponsors more than 1.8 billion dirhams in 6 months, according to the Ministry of Labor. Between January to June, 27,962 companies with penalties for 58,365 employees paid a total of 37.5 million dirhams because of expired cards. Under the deal, employers had to pay a maximum of 1,000 dirhams of fine, regardless of the normal penalties. The ministry said that 12,038 companies and 36,635 employees now face harsh penalties, and has warned that a crackdown on companies that did not take advantage of the offer will begin next week. The grace period was approved on December 31st last year, with 70% of the total number of establishments in the UAE benefiting from the grace period, while more than 61% of their workers have resettled card fines. For those who took advantage of the amnesty, over 43,000 cards were cancelled, 13,000 renewed, and over 1,200 employees were reported as off-duty. The amount of fines due before the grace period was 1.85 billion dirhams. Finally, in the bulletin, while many people in Dubai say they feel squeezed by the increasing cost of living in the Emirate, a new global cost of living index suggests that people in Dubai are a lot better off than other global cities. Data collected by comparison site Numbeo has showed that the Emirate is not as expensive as some other cities in the United States, Switzerland, United Kingdom, and even Singapore. The site reviewed the prices of groceries, restaurants, transportation, and utilities in more than 500 cities around the world, and found that consumers elsewhere are spending far more money on services, goods, and daily essentials, as well as rent. The countries surveyed were ranked according to a consumer price index and rent index, which took into account the latest rental figures and prices of groceries, restaurant meals, transportation, and utilities. According to the survey, Dubai came in 39th place, while Abu Dhabi came in the 62nd place compared to New York City. A pack of groceries in Dubai can cost about 40% cheaper, while restaurant meals are estimated to be about 30% less. Renting an apartment in the Emirate was also estimated to be around 28% cheaper than in New York City, though it's considered more expensive compared to Singapore, Geneva, or Zurich. As today, the city-state of Monaco in Europe was rated the most expensive city in the world based on the consumer price and rent indices, followed by Hamilton, Bermuda in the second, followed by Luanda, Angola, San Francisco, California, Geneva, and Zurich, Switzerland.